I'm Anna Morgan, your career BFF. It is Wednesday at 12 o'clock. It is time to talk about the next activity in the Career BFF Advent Calendar, which we are continuing the conversation about self-care during this crazy busy season of the holidays. So it's definitely easy to take some time and pull your foot off the gas and not take any action towards networking to new opportunities, which is why I created this advent calendar to just give you very bite-sized, actionable things that you can do, and also things to think about as you get ready to set this awesome foundation for an amazing new opportunity in 2022. So good morning. Lisa Parker gets an A+ for attending all the lives. I'm so happy that you're here. It is super chilly here in Atlanta today, with a little touch of rain. Hey, Patricia, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So today we're talking more about really taking care of ourselves, because through my experience as a recruiter, 15, 20 plus years, and working with all types of job seekers, from entry level to C-suite, I know how stressful going through this process can be. And I truly believe that one of the ways to be successful and to really fast track opportunities is to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves, because if we don't do that, we cannot show up to be the women and men that we're destined to be, right? So some of the tips that I included in the calendar were really disconnecting from social media. How often have you uninstalled applications on your phone, and really had that intentional time where you were on no social platforms? And why? Why would you do that? One, just to get a break from all the noise. There is so much content out on various social platforms, from LinkedIn to Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, to name a few, where we are providing a lot of insights and tips that you need to know in the job search journey. However, it can get overwhelming, and it can really ignite doubt or imposter syndrome. So really taking some time and being intentional with the social media content that you consume. And I know as an entrepreneur, this is very relevant as well, because you tend to get in this space where you're looking at what everybody else is doing and think you should be doing that. And really what you need to do is just trust yourself and make sure that you have that awareness around what you need to be successful along that job search journey. I am also a huge fan of meditation. There have been an explosion of apps out there that can offer guided meditations for a variety of situations. If you are finding yourself lacking confidence, or dealing with financial insecurity, or dealing with some mindset issues, there's apps like Calm and several others that you can utilize to set some time aside to really get quiet and drop into really listening to the messages that come up through those guided meditations, and take that time, because it is so important. So if you do any kind of meditations or utilize any apps, I'm always looking for great ideas. So if you're here today and that is a part of your self-care routine, please share in the comments. I would love to hear. So another thing that I commonly do if I find myself getting a little squirrely is I will grab one of my 4 crazy dogs and just go for a brisk walk in the neighborhood. There is science behind moving our bodies and elevating our heart rate that triggers those neurons in our brain to reset and can really minimize stress as we are, juggling all the things during this holiday season. So, big fan of walking, getting a group exercise class in, or even attending a yoga class, or, there are a lot of free resources on, YouTube and other streaming services where you can get access to great, people who do exercises and classes like that. Kind of lost my words there. Sorry. Another thing when we are on the job search journey, from a self-care standpoint, when I'm meeting with my clients, I really dig into what their schedules look like, right? What our responsibilities are as parents, as wives, as servant leaders, and really carving out and time blocking specific activities for our job search. And that can look like a certain hour for following up on opportunities that you applied for, another hour for connecting with like-minded people at your target companies, to making sure that you carve out that time for a 15-minute meditation. So if you're not utilizing some kind of time blocking system, whether it's on a manual daily calendar or even electronic, I highly recommend that. For me personally, because I am squirrely and have ADHD, I really rely heavily on my calendars to make sure I'm maximizing the most out of my day, but also incorporating those activities that I know are going to support my self-care and helping me be the best person I can be. So y'all think this is funny. I'm the oldest of 5 children, and I had a very active part in, helping my mom with the kids and all that kind of stuff. And I would say my mom is a little bit more on the holistic kind of natural side of healing remedies. And her solution for everything, and my siblings and I laugh about this today, is that she would always say, just drink more water. So anytime like I'm starting to feel a little weird, I grab my water bottle and make sure that I'm staying hydrated, because our vessels are important and we have to stay hydrated because our brains won't function, and it can just do so much for us. So super simple tip, but most of us probably run a little light on our water consumption. So I wanted to share that as part of my tip, because it's something that's ingrained in my DNA. And I now get the eye roll from my 13-year-old who is always like, Mom, water is not the solution for everything. Patricia, she always gets her walks in. That's awesome. I saw a post recently where a gentleman had mentioned that those of us that work remote or are, in this journey, so many people will start our days early, get the kids off to school, come back, have a time block that we're focused on certain activities, have that midday walk, another time block for intense activities, family time, personal time, and then pick back up a little bit later. So I feel like the work day and some of our days have definitely adjusted in the last 15 months. And I am, again, hyper passionate about setting boundaries, self-care, really paying attention to our self-talk as we go through this process, because this is such a different environment than it was this time last year. So I had a conversation with a client yesterday, and the sentiment was, I'm burnt out. There's too much activity. Too many people are coming to my profile and reaching out to me for opportunities. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so different than a year ago. But there is a strategy behind managing opportunities. And I want to hit on this just a little bit. And this comes from my sales background. I started in hospitality, working in restaurants for many years. I sold advertising, and then working in staffing is very much a sales role, right? And so the principle around, if you are getting, you know, pleasantly bombarded with opportunities right now. One, having that clarity that you know what you want, what kind of industry, your top three titles, and the key elements that you're looking for in the leadership style, the company's culture, their mission, and their values. And I recommend you have kind of like a opportunity checklist. So when you get tapped on the shoulder by a recruiter or a hiring manager about an opportunity, you have a guidepost to make sure you're being radically honest with yourself about these opportunities, because we can tend to get a little bit of shiny object syndrome and get excited because, oh, somebody wants us, right? We all want to be liked and wanted and needed. However, if we aren't honest that this opportunity is not checking the boxes on the key elements that we know to be true, that we have to have in our future opportunity, you're going to end up stepping into an opportunity that really repeats maybe the same situation that you're looking to leave or have left. So, really demonstrating that vigilance and standing firm in your power about what you want, and being willing to say thanks, but no thanks, and do it in a way that builds the relationship but sets a boundary and says, I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for reaching out, but this opportunity does not align with what I'm looking for. The only constant thing is change, and I would love to keep the conversation going at some point, and perhaps I might know someone that I can refer to you for this opportunity. That's a way to make a recruiter or hiring manager a great BFF and be memorable. And then you have an opportunity to tell them a little bit about the criteria of what you're looking for. So if something lands on their plate that is more in line with those key characteristics, they will remember you because you were gracious and courteous and willing to help them network to additional candidates, and that could potentially open up some more doors. So all right, I'll pause there. Susan says she's doing exercise every morning. She just started playing volleyball, which I think is so awesome. I have a couple goals for 2022 in regards to exercise, not only shedding a couple of these COVID pounds, but also trying some like cardio dance classes or Zumba or something like that. So again, because I know for my serenity and sanity, movement is one of the best pieces of medicine and self-care foundations that I can do for me as a coach, as a mom, as a wife, and all of those different things. So, all right. So drink lots of water. Also carve out some intentional time for reading. I just picked up Brene Brown's new Atlas of the Heart book. I also just recently read Rob Gilbert's book, Die Before They Do. And if you are Generation X, you have to read this book. It was such a great journey, and it was just so fun to escape in a book. And we don't give ourselves enough credit and know that really diving into some kind of book or story like that, how powerful that can be to reset our brains. And so I would love to hear what books that you all are reading. If you're here today, let me know. If your team replay, let me know. I am notorious for half finishing books, but Rob's book was one I could not put down, and read it in like 2 or 3 days, and was just an amazing experience. And after the live, I will drop the link to Rob's profile and to that book. You can also check it out. Okay, Wendy says, Let's see. I'm reading If She Knew All About an FBI Agent. Ooh, I'll have to look that up, Wendy. Thank you for the suggestion. Also, Rebecca Otis has a book called The Knock Method. This is a great resource for job seekers and career changers. It gives you such great strategies to network effectively, not only on social media, but in person. So that's another book that I'd recommend. So, again, a little foundation of your self care practice is, getting creative in taking action on different activities that can reset your brain and just help you feel really good. So Brian says he has a new resolution is helping others. I love that. Brian, you are such a great leader and have so much to give. So Susan just finished a book called Leaving Forward or Leaning Forward. So check that out. Brian says, meditate. Yes, I think she meant meditation versus medication. Meditation is medication, essentially, right? So that is my tip for today. Tomorrow I will be live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I am going to give you all a little behind the curtain preview of my upcoming group cohort that's starting January 17th. That Patricia, it is called Die Before They Do by Rob Gilbear, Gilbear. And I'll drop all the links in the chat. I'm still on one screen today because I have painters here at my house. So I have my 4 dogs on my master bedroom, and I'm kind of in this little corner, trying to get all my work done today. So I'll definitely put it in the chat in like the next 5 minutes. So tomorrow at 8:30, if you are at all curious about a CareerBFF container and what it's like to work with me, I will be sharing a little bit more about my group program tomorrow morning before I jump on a plane to Dallas, Texas to celebrate some friends' Christmas with some great friends in the Dallas area. And I'm going to have an opportunity to meet some of my LinkedIn friends in Dallas. So I'm super excited about that. And then I'll also be going live early Saturday and Sunday while I'm traveling to keep this momentum going. I am so committed to showing up every single day until Christmas to review these Advent calendar of activities to support you all in your job search journey, keep you motivated, let you know that you are supported and loved by your Career BFF. So definitely tune in tomorrow morning. Sebastian says he's finding volunteering during this time definitely helps. Yes, yes, yes. I recently have been on this donation kick, sent a bunch of comforters and blankets and old towels to an animal shelter, and sold a bunch of furniture. And I'm like in this season of resetting everything in my house. So I definitely appreciate everyone joining. Thank you, Patricia. I wish I was getting over to Houston. I have a lot of BFFs in the Houston area, so I'll try to make a trip over to Houston at some point in 2022 because we tend to get to Texas pretty frequently. So I will see you all tomorrow at 8:30. Thank you so much for the support. Check in with yourself. Don't be afraid to set boundaries. Start looking at 2022 and your daily practice around self-care. Figure out where you can find that time because you come first. If you're not taking care of you, you are not going to shine as brightly. And each and every one of you have such amazing gifts to bring to this world. And by focusing on that self-care, you will shine so brightly and attract amazing opportunities. With that, I am Anna Morgan. I am complete. I love you all, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Have a great, amazing day.